Hey world, it's me Willie, come back to another video. But I wanted to give you a real version of and a clear understanding of why this economy isn't this great economy, and why our economy is based off of debt and not off of prosperity. Anytime a person or leader of state or Congress tells you that we have a great economy, then a great economy is supposed to exhibit signs of consumer, not only consumer spending, but consumer growth, consumer net worth increasing. Not just in being spenders and being, going in debt, but the consumers are actually not only consumers, but also those that are able to save money and build their net worth. That's a good economy. A good economy isn't saying, well, we have the lowest unemployment rate in 50 years, but the wages for these employments are not keeping up with inflation, are not keeping up with the times. I mean, it don't take a rocket scientist to know if you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s, think about how much things cost 20 years ago or 10 years ago opposed to how much they costing now, and ask yourself, did your salary, based on where you work at, did your salary increase with the prices of inflation? Did you have an increase in salary comparable to what inflation has done every year? Because if you know your math, if you know economy, then you know that inflation, on average, grows 2% a year. You have some years when it's lower, but you have years when it's higher. But to say on average around 2% is what the Federal Reserve wants to achieve. But if you look at that in a 10-year span, okay, that's 20% increase in prices. Did you get a 20% raise in your wages? So the problem isn't the unemployment rate. The problem is the wage rate. The fact that wages are not rising with inflation. And so you always find yourself behind the 8 ball and have to do what? Work more. Come on, family, the game is the game. You don't think they know that? But if you're not conscious of this kind of stuff, and you're basically only conscious of social media, only conscious of, just paying bills or trying to get by. If you look at the totality of how this economy works, you'll see that, okay, the only way I can really do it is pay myself first and invest, because the system is based on investments for this building wealth. You're not going to build wealth working and hoping that it'll 0.5% or 1% raise you get is going to help. It doesn't. If you look at what teachers get every year, if you look at their raises, because every year most teachers get a raise, right? But look at the raise in comparison to inflation. I promise you, every teacher in every state is not getting at least a 2% raise every year. It's not happening. So we constantly behind the 8 ball. That's the real economy, family. That's the real problem. So when you look at President Trump talking about the unemployment rate being the lowest it's ever been, or they tout about the unemployment rate, don't worry about the unemployment rate. Look at the wage rate. How much money are you making based on your energy that you're expending? If you can't buy the same things this year that you could last year or 10 years ago, then and you still working at the same job, something's wrong with that. Okay? Something's wrong with that. All right, fella, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And in the meantime, between time, may the Most High inside to bring you joy. And being Willie is going to be out at 5,000.